What is a wash sale? Well, a wash sale is pretty much an anti-avoidance of tax. So today I'm going to go into more details about what a wash sale is and how you can avoid it. Hello everyone, my name is Rooshock and today I'm going to be talking to you about wash sales, and I'm going to explain what a wash sale is, how it applies in a practical sense, and how you can make sure you avoid that. And just quickly, if this is your first time checking out my content, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment. All these things really help me grow my business and my channel, and I really appreciate the support. Anyway, let's get into the video. All right, so first I'll try and talk to you about what a wash sale is. So I'll jump into a tax ruling here, which is tax ruling 2008/1, and it talks about what a wash sale is. So it's pretty much the application of Part 4A of the Income Tax Assessment Act to wash sale arrangements. So Part 4A of the Income Tax Assessment Act is pretty much the general anti-avoidance provisions. So what this is just general schemes that would be avoiding tax that are therefore deemed illegal under this part of the Act. So I'll read this part out to you. You can see why it gets a little bit confusing with wash sales, because it says the term wash sale does not have any precise meaning. In commerce, the term wash sale is used to describe the sale and purchase of the same or substantially the same asset within a short period of time to each other. And the sale and purchase pretty much cancel each other out, and the result that there's no real change in economic exposure of the owner to the asset. So what this means in essence is that you're doing something, so that's going to be the sale, and then you're going to repurchase the same asset, and therefore really you're in the same economical position. Now the reason this comes into an anti-avoidance tax measure, and really will explain what a wash sale is say we've got asset A, and so we've bought some shares in a company, and those shares we paid $5,000 for, and they're currently sitting at a position of $2,500. So we're in a $2,500 loss position. So say the 30th of June comes along, you know what, we're going to sell that asset for $2,500 and recognize that loss. So we've now got a capital loss there of $2,500, and we may be able to apply that against some other gains that we may have from other sales of capital assets. Now this is where a wash sale would occur, is if we were then to go buy that same parcel of shares for $2,500, or it might be slightly different depending on movements, on the 1st of July, so the next day. So what we've done here, we've sold a parcel of shares on the 30th of June and we've repurchased on the 1st of July. But from a tax point of view, we've recognised that loss in that financial year so it can be claimed, and now we're pretty much in the same position. And this is where the ATO and by that Income Tax Assessment Act have gone, no, that is not allowed, that's a wash sale. So that's a real basic example. I'll bring on the tax ruling here, and you can see there's a lot of different examples they've got here. So I'll leave a link to this in the description, because you can see it's all similar things of pretty much disposing of the same asset and then repurchasing in a short period of time. Now you will see though, where it gets a bit confusing, is it doesn't state a set thing. So I think in America, it's like a 30-day period that they class that as being a wash sale. Whereas in Australia, we don't have a clear guideline that says a number of days. So if Part 4A is deemed as, yep, this is a wash sale, the Commissioner can cancel out any tax benefits of that. So that's where you could potentially think that, oh yeah, I've sold this and therefore I'm going to be able to claim the capital loss. And they may go, no, that's not claimable because this is a wash sale. Your economic position hasn't changed. So it's all based around, are you going to end up in the same economic position? And therefore, really, you shouldn't have received tax benefits by doing that. So a wash sale is pretty basic in its manner of, okay, what was your reason for selling an asset, for instance? Was it purely to avoid tax by recognizing a loss? But that word intent is so important, and it's so important in a lot of tax things we have here in Australia. So the easiest way to avoid a wash sale is to think about what is your intent. So you may have a capital gain position through the year, you might have some losses, and there's nothing wrong with recognizing those losses if your intent is to get rid of that asset. You may have some shares that are performing poorly. You know, look, I've sold some other assets that have done well, but I want to move this one on because I don't think it's going to perform well over the next few months or the next few years. Therefore, I want to sell that. And obviously, you will get that benefit of claiming that tax loss against those gains. And there isn't anything stopping you from repurchasing that asset in the future. But obviously, if you were to get an audit on this, you'd have to demonstrate that there was a clear reason why you sold at that time and why you repurchased at another time. So, for instance, there could be an announcement that company makes 3 months later that goes, oh wow, that company now, I believe that could significantly grow in value. And there's nothing wrong with you rebuying that in if you've had those right intentions the whole way along. What you don't want to do is do that on a really small time frame, because that's going to obviously look like, oh, well, what could have changed in that time frame? And obviously, if it significantly benefits you tax-wise, that's going to potentially cause a red flag to go, okay, was that the main reason why you did it, to avoid paying tax? And so I'll just give you another quick example where it might not even be on that 30th of June, 1st of July thing. This could happen in sometime in June, where someone could sell something, create that loss position, and then rebuy back in within the next day or two. So you're still going to crystallize that loss in that year, and that is what's going to be classed as a wash sale, because they're going to look at it and go, well, the only reason you did this was purely to recognize that loss for tax purposes to save tax, and unfortunately they class that as an anti-avoidance scheme. So a quick summary for you there. A wash sale is a anti-avoidance scheme. It's pretty much selling, crystallizing a loss, and then repurchasing that in most situations, and obviously then putting yourself in the same economic position as what you started in, but obviously getting some tax benefits to that. The ATO don't like that. There's a whole tax ruling on it, as I said. Now, I'll bring that up quickly again here. So it's TR 2008/1. I'd highly recommend having a read of this, especially if you've got significant gains and losses and you're wanting to have a better understanding, because there's lots of good examples, lots of real details in those examples. So you can really hopefully find something similar to what you're thinking about doing and seeing what their ruling is on that. As always, I hope you found this video valuable. Leave a comment down below if you understand wash sales, if you've got some more questions on them, and I'll see you again on the next video.